What's going on, everyone? Your boy here, Apollo from Down Down Up Up, and this was a debate. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do this video or not, because coming off of an incredible weekend as is, NXT, SmackDown in the week, then we had AEW Dynamite on Saturday Night Dynamite, we had NXT TakeOver 30. I thought that was bloody brilliant. And then we had SummerSlam, and as usual, it can never be on the par that TakeOver is. But I don't really know what we got was a good show or a bad show. The one good thing, it left me feeling good. It left me feeling happy. I guess we're going to get into it. Let's go, everybody. It's time for Talk Apollo Talk, SummerSlam 2020. I guess let's start on the kickoff. First and foremost, on a more serious note, Renee Young's last WWE appearance. She was on the kickoff panel, and sad to see her go, but I'm really looking forward to her in AEW if she decides to be a deciding factor, maybe even on the announcer's desk. So we'll see what we get out of that. It was her, Booker T, JBL, and a couple of others. Apologies, the names are not coming to mind at the moment. Charlie Caruso and the name escapes me, but I know it's someone that I like. Anyway, kickoff, unfortunately, and I say this because I truly mean it, there were no kickoff matches to be announced out of the blue. The problem I had with that is that they shafted Apollo Crews and MVP to the kickoff. That is actually pretty low. This is a rivalry that's been building for 2-3-ish months now, I want to say, and it gets shafted to the kickoff after getting the mainstream attention on Raw that it has gotten lately. So didn't feel good about that. Also, they cut the kickoff from 2 hours to 1. That I actually liked. Completely unnecessary to have a 2-hour kickoff without fans. So I approve of that decision. As far as the match went, MVP did have some new music coming out. The Hurt Business have their own merch. But surprising to me, this was really just a little skirmish. Apollo Crews hit his toss powerbomb and won and retained his United States Championship. Not the way I thought it was going to go. I thought Cedric Alexander was going to be a deciding factor in this match, but there was no interference. Obviously, the official members of the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, the 24/7 champion, were banned from ringside as per the stipulation that Apollo won on Raw last week to get. So Apollo got what he wanted. Apollo Crews is still the United States champion. No hate. I thought we were going to go the other way tonight, but we could be going the other way. Payback this Sunday. You know why? Because officially a match has been... the tongue just returning. The curse of the tongue. A match has been announced with Apollo Crews defending his United States Championship, not against MVP, but against Bobby Lashley. Okay then. Lashley is a former United States Champion to his credit. Can Bobby Lashley get the Hurt Business that championship back at Payback for some reason this Sunday? I will hopefully see you guys in a later video when we actually have a full match card to discuss. Moving on to the main card of SummerSlam. Before we get into the matches, on a side note, Keith Lee is apparently debuting tonight as we speak on Monday Night Raw. That was a shock to hear because that is an instantaneous jump by the sound of it. He loses the NXT Championship. He's vacated the North American Championship, but he's coming to Raw. Wow. All I have to say to that is some crazy decision-making on the quick side. This is water, I promise it is. Anyway, kicking off, we had Asuka-chan going after Bayley in the SmackDown Women's Championship. This match was pretty good. It was a hot opener, had me invested. If you guys recall my predictions, I was a little bit of a gambling in this one, and the gambling didn't pay off too well because, believe it or not, after a little bit of a distraction finish, Asuka hit her hip attack going towards Bayley in the ropes. Bayley moved, Sasha Banks took it. Bayley with the cradle, small package, and pinned Asuka. To my knowledge, this is the first time Bayley has done that. Bayley beat Asuka and kept her SmackDown Women's Championship. That I completely approve of. I honestly thought they were going to do a disqualification finish, but then Bayley would in turn not help Sasha Banks in her championship match. And to be truthful, the majority of what I stated did come to life, but for now, Bayley beat Asuka. She's still the SmackDown Women's Champion. Afterwards, her and Sasha Banks put the beating on Asuka. But unlike what I would have expected, I honestly thought they were going to do these matches back to back. They did not. Moving into our second match of the main card, Raw Tag Team Championship match, Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Andrade, and this was a surprise. I would have bet good money that the Tag Team Championships were ready to switch hands, but it was not to be. After a fair match, Montez accidentally got bumped into Zelina, who was on the apron. She fell to the ground. Andrade went to check on her, leaving Angel Garza completely outnumbered, and from the heavens, Montez flied on Garza. 1, 2, 3. Still your tag team champions, the Street Profits, but a match I'm not upset to get wrong about. The Street Profits are hot business for Raw. They're fun. They still feel fresh to me. I'm happy they kept the gold. I'm not happy, though, that Angel and Andrade got shafted again just because of Zelina's nonsense. If they're going to break them up, I wish they would have done it by now. And strangely enough, Kevin Owens was out to do some commentary for Monday Night Raw for the Tag Team Championship match with the Raw Tag Team titles, of course. So Owens was out there. He was repping the Street Profits, a little bit of a kerfuffle talking at Zelina back and forth, but the main part, he didn't really do anything other than announce that on Raw tonight, he would be hosting the Kevin Owens show with the returning Aleister Black. What does that mean? A lot of people, for some reason, are speculating he's going to return as a heel and destroy Owens. I don't know about that, but we'll see when we get there. I myself am going to catch Raw tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. Keep an open mind. Moving on, we then had Mandy Rose versus Sonia Deville, no longer in hair versus hair, but in a no disqualification loser leaves WWE. Loser leaves WWE match. This match was flat, but I'm not one to give criticism for this because of real life recent events. I believe this match and its style got completely twisted around. These two tried to do what they could. I do have to point out, though, Mandy Rose struggling to get the table up. Mandy, we're laughing with you. I think we all love it when dumb crap like that happens now and then. It's funny to watch. We're laughing with you. We all love you. Same goes for Sonia, who unfortunately lost to many's belief. It was a couple of knees by Mandy, I'm pretty sure, that did it, along with her fairy tale ending finisher, although I'm pretty sure she has a different name for that. So Sonya Deville lost, Mandy won. Otis came out looking like he was going to cash in Money in the Bank, but instead he and Mandy just did the worm, which was cute, and so it ends. Another fairy tale ending for Otis and Mandy on pay-per-view. Sonya Deville, for now, is gone, but hopefully she will find a way back after taking, hopefully, some time off in regard of recent real-life events. If you don't know what I'm talking about, search up Sonya Deville, and you'll most likely see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to discuss it here. We're just talking about pay-per-view results for now. Moving on. I believe this is when we did our... Bear with me. I've been up to par so far. I'm pretty sure this is when we had Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. This is one I was happy to get right to some extent. But I'll be honest with you. There's a couple of factors to this. One, believe it or not, it's Pat Mcafee. Because there were two matches that had the intrigue for this weekend. It was Pat Mcafee versus Adam Cole. That delivered because Pat is amazing. I'll give him credit. I want to see him wrestle. Then there's Dominic versus Seth, which was okay. But the problem is, it was just okay. And for a street fight, it could have gone a little bit more so, but then the real problem showed up with Rey Mysterio and his wife Angie, of all people, to show up. And this match was more just about raw emotion than the showing of Dominic Mysterio in the ring. Like, he was fun for the most part when he had his chance to shine. I enjoyed the Eddie Guerrero frog splash. I enjoyed the 619, but we already knew he could do both of those things. The highlight for him was that side Russian leg sweep with a kendo stick from the top rope to Rollins through a table. That was a great spot. Loved it. More of those amazing things, Dominic. I'm looking forward to what you're going to get. But in the end, Rey Mysterio, got handcuffed to the rope. He had to watch his son get mauled and stomped. 1, 2, 3. The Messiah, the Monday Night Messiah, picks up the win. And the Mysterio family continues to crumble to the power of Rollins and Murphy. Will we get a tag team match at Payback between these four? I would bet yes, but maybe it's too soon. I don't know. This match didn't deliver as much as I thought, but it didn't leave me feeling too disappointed. I was expecting more, but such is life. Moving on. Raw Women's Championship match. Sasha Banks, Asuka. Asuka unsuccessfully had her shot against Bayley earlier in the night. She did not waste this opportunity. Bayley did not interfere as much as Sasha in her in Bayley's match earlier, although it looked like we were going to get a repeat of the same finish because Asuka hit her hip attack. Sasha moved. She hit Bayley, who fell to the outside, but instead of the lovely roll-up or what Sasha was looking for, the bank statement, Asuka put in the Asuka lock for the third-ish time and tapped Sasha Banks out. Asuka gets back the Raw Women's title. Dissension continues between Sasha Banks and Bayley, but they are still scheduled to defend their tag titles. I'm surprised people thought they were going to fall out here at this show, because with the tag team championship match coming up, let's face it, Sasha Banks still has gold. She's got nothing too terribly to be upset about. I'm looking forward, though, if we're going to have Shayna versus Asuka this quickly, if that happens, Payback. And if Nia Jax screws it up, then thanks for ruining another women's match, WWE. But let's move on. Now we get into another iffy part of the night. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, WWE Championship match. Let's be honest, we didn't see this coming. This was a match. It was not the finisher fest. Although Orton went for his RKO at least 6 times, McIntyre had it scouted. They kept the back and forth going well. McIntyre went for his Claymore. Orton moved. Orton goes for another RKO. Then McIntyre rolls him with a backslide and beat Randy Orton. That was indeed a surprise. Another series of mixed emotions because they actually built Randy Orton up just so Drew McIntyre could beat him. And here's the thing, I'm already calling this as is. I don't think Randy Orton is going to win the WWE Championship. If it was going to happen, it was surely going to happen at SummerSlam. So if there is a rematch to be had, I'm thinking Drew McIntyre is going to keep his run up. I don't know at this point. I thought Orton was going to get on top of the world. But if it wasn't SummerSlam, then what's it going to be? What's it going to be? It makes him look like a dummy for getting rid of Flair so early. I'm sure Flair could have been at least some assistance in this match from the outside. Drew McIntyre did it. He's still the champion. Randy Orton built up for what many are calling nothing. It was a good match, but the finish, all in all, just didn't make sense. We'll see if there's a rematch at Payback. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but I don't think Orton's going to get it done. But now let's move into the main event. And I didn't even know. Apparently it was a Falls Count Anywhere match between Braun Strowman, the Universal Champion, and The Fiend. This was fun. I don't have any general complaints about the match, although Braun Strowman sure looked like a fool at the end of it, because it was a good back and forth in the ring. Then they went to the backstage area. Sister Abigail on the floor. Strowman kicks out. Strowman gets, I think, his second power slam back in the ring. Fiend kicks out. And then amongst the kerfuffle, a toolbox was broken open. Strowman grabs basically a knife. I forget what the official term of the tool was called, and starts ripping up the ring. Not quite as badass as Brock Lesnar ripping it with his bare hands at Hell in a Cell in 2015 against Undertaker, but still, you wondered where this was going. But Braun took too long. The Fiend got up, a Uranagi on the exposed wood, and then 2 more Sister Abigails, 1, 2, 3. The Fiend won the Universal Championship. I had the fair mixed emotion on that result, but then my worries soon turned into reality, because what happened mere moments after the end of this match? Roman Reigns. A seemingly new and improved Roman Reigns by the looks of it. He's got his pearly whites fixed up. He speared the Fiend, he speared Strowman, he assaulted both of them with chairs, and by the looks of it, have they turned him heel? Is Roman Reigns finally embracing what many believe John Cena should have many moons ago? Roman Reigns is back. He wants the Universal Championship that he should have gotten at WrestleMania this year, for being completely honest. And another way for the Fiend to be thrown in the bin, ruining Bray Wyatt further. The problem is, I can't hate this. I liked seeing Roman come back with this much aggression. I've put so much of my Roman hate in the bin from 2015 to 2017. I don't have much more to say. But now that they're doing this, what am I to complain about? I didn't really want the Fiend in the end to get the Universal title back anyway, because that means it's something he's going to inevitably lose, whereas the character should have been kept protected at all costs. It got ruined by Goldberg. Now it looks like it's going to be ruined by Reigns, because if Reigns is bringing this character back, I just want him to win the title the first match he gets for it. I'll admit, I want to see Roman Reigns with that championship doing a heel run. I want to see what it's going to be like. And that was SummerSlam. It was a show that left me feeling weird. I still don't know if it was a good way or a bad way, but I will say this, it was a watchable show. And the chaos continues with Payback this Sunday. Next Saturday, it's AEW All Out, which is hopefully going to be bat insane. Let's keep the ride going. I hope everybody has a lovely time watching Raw or whatever you are doing right now. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into my videos. Back at it again. Again, if you have not yet checked it out on my channel, I will have it in the description below. Dragonborn, the Daniel Bryan story. Mwah. A lovely musical ride of one of the greatest in the business. Keep it real.